Hey everyone, welcome back to the Math Econ.
Today we are doing question 4 and 5 from the ISI MSQE PEA 2025 paper. An open economy, fixed exchange rate, standard looking macro model. 4 equations, multiple choice, should be quick. Except it's not, because this pair of questions has a fork hiding in it. Solve question 4 one way, you get a multiplier of 2. Solve it another, equally legitimate way using the exact same 4 equations and you get 3.125. Both numbers are real. Only one is what the exam wants. The key to telling them apart and the key to solving question 5 correctly right after is one concept, the repercussion effect. Once you understand what that actually is, both questions stop being tricky and start being two clean applications of the same idea. Let's build that concept first, then come back and solve everything. Say my country increases government spending, my income goes up. But when my income goes up, I don't just spend it all at home, I buy some foreign goods too, so my imports rise. Now flip to the other country's perspective. My imports are their exports, so when my imports go up, their export earnings go up, which means their national income goes up. And here's the loop closing. Now that their income is higher, what do? They buy more stuff too, including more of my exports. So my exports rise, which pushes my income up again. That bounce back, my spending raises their income, which raises my income again, is called the repercussion effect. Is the trade feedback loop between two economies. The question is never whether this loop is real. In real economies, it genuinely happens. The question is always for this specific question, am I supposed to let that loop run or am I supposed to hold it still? So now let's go back and actually read what question 4 asks. It says the value of the multiplier in the domestic economy is. Notice what it does not say. It doesn't say assuming the foreign economy also responds, and it doesn't say incorporating trade feedback. It just asks for the multiplier as a general standalone concept. Let's derive it. Start from the national income identity. Y equals consumption plus investment plus government spending plus exports minus imports. Substitute in our equations. C is 20 plus 0.8 times Y minus 10. Investment is 10, government spending is G. Exports are 0.3 Y star and imports are 0.3 Y. Simplify and collect Y terms. 0.5 Y equals 22 plus G plus 0.3 Y star. Multiply both sides by 2. Y equals 44 plus 2G plus 0.6 Y star. Now apply the convention from the last section, repercussions off, so we hold Y star fixed. Differentiate with respect to G, treating Y star as a constant. dy by dg equals 2. That's it. That's the answer to question 4. Option B, not a fudge, not an approximation. It's the textbook correct answer to a question that by convention isn't asking about the repercussion effect at all. Now, purely as a bonus, because I think it makes you a much stronger student, let's switch the repercussion effect back on and see what changes. The question tells us the foreign economy follows the exact same equations as the domestic one. So foreign output has its own equation, Y star equals 44 plus 2 times G star plus 0.6 times Y. Instead of treating Y star as a fixed number, we now treat it as a variable that responds to domestic Y, exactly the loop we described earlier. Solve the two equations together as a system and differentiate with respect to G. dy by dg equals 25 over 8, which is 3.125. This number is the full repercussion effect multiplier. It captures the entire bounce loop run out to infinity. It's a real differentiable number. Here's why all of this mattered. Look closely at question 5's wording. Assume the foreign government does not have any such target in mind and does not change its expenditure, G star. Read that carefully. It says foreign government spending doesn't change. It does not say foreign income doesn't change. Those are two different things. G star is a policy choice. The foreign government is choosing not to act. But Y star, foreign income, is not a policy choice. It's an outcome determined by the model. And we just showed that outcome moves whenever trade flows shift. That's the repercussion effect we built earlier. So here's the bridge. Question 4 asked an abstract question with no scenario attached. So the default convention applied repercussions off. Question 5 gives you a real policy scenario, and that scenario only tells you what's fixed about policy, not about income. Which means here the repercussion effect is required, not optional. We have to let Y star move. First, find the starting point. Before any policy change, both economies are identical, so Y equals Y star. Plug G equals 10 into our equation. Y equals 44 plus 20 plus 0.6 times Y. Solve. 0.4 Y equals 64, so Y equals 160. That's where both countries start. The domestic government wants Y at 250. That's a required increase of 90 in output. Now because repercussions are switched on here, we cannot just divide 90 by 2. We have to solve the system simultaneously. Foreign equation with G star fixed at 10. Y star equals 44 plus 20 plus 0.6 times Y. Set domestic Y to 250. Y star equals 64 plus 0.6 times 250, which is 214. Plug that into the domestic equation. 250 equals 44 plus 2G plus 0.6 times 214. That's 250 equals 44 plus 2G plus 128.4. So 2G equals 77.6 and G equals 38.8. That's the new total level of government spending needed. Now look very carefully at what the question actually asked. What is the increase in G necessary? Not the new level, the increase. We just found the new total is 38.8. The original G was 10, so the actual increase delta G is 38.8 minus 10, which is 28.8. Check the options. There's no 28.8 listed, but 38.8 is there as option C. So 38.8 isn't the answer to the question as literally worded. It's the new total, which happens to be one of the 4 choices. The actual increase 28.8 isn't an option at all. This is a wording trap worth flagging for any multi-step macro question. Always solve for exactly what's asked in the model's own terms first, then go looking for it in the options. Let's tie it all together with one sentence. Both questions are testing whether you know when to switch the repercussion effect on or off. Question 4 asks for the multiplier with no scenario attached. That's the default convention, repercussions off, and the answer is B, 2. The 3.125 version is the same model with repercussions switched on, a genuinely useful number to know, just not what this question is asking for. Question 5 hands you a real scenario, and the scenario only freezes foreign policy, not foreign income, so the repercussion effect is required. Solving the full system gets you a true increase of 28.8, but the question's intended answer is C, 38.8, the new total. Same model, same trade feedback concept, tested twice from 2 different angles. If breaking that down helped, subscribe for more of these ISI MSQE and PEA walkthroughs and let me know in the comments which question you want next.